Can you both talk about the strategy tomorrow to keep Mick in the yellow jersey? What do you know of the course tomorrow, and what will you guys have to do to win this thing?
We haven't seen the course. I mean, I think we're like the majority of the riders in the race. We can only go from what's on, in the race booklet. I mean, we'll send some of our management staff around the course tonight or early tomorrow to see. And with regards to the tactics of the race, first and foremost is protect the jersey. And I'm very confident with, Bert Grabs, Bernie Eisel, young TJ, Tony. I think we've got a strong team. Obviously, from what I hear, it's a very difficult circuit with a tough climb. To repeat 4 times, I believe. It's not over. It's far from over. But saying that, I think we're one step closer today. And tomorrow we'll take the day it comes.
You lost 2 of your teammates yesterday, and I'm wondering if you feel like you have a team equipped to protect the leader's jersey for tomorrow.
The 2 marks, obviously being sprinters, they had a very tough day yesterday, which was, quite normal for a sprinter, or being sprinters, quite normal. I mean, when you analyse the stage yesterday, we were able to protect a stage that was almost twice as long, and a lot more climbing. We were able to protect the lead without the 2 marks. I'm confident we can do the same tomorrow, but we will have to have our wits about us, because obviously the whole race is going to throw everything at us that they have, and we'll be expecting that. And we have a lot of experience. Not only the riders, but our sports directors behind have got years and years of experience, so we can use all that to our advantage.
Michael, what do you expect the offense to be for Radio Shack and Garmin? How do you expect them to come at you?
They'll attack. Yeah, they'll attack hard, I'm sure. Logical places to attack on the climb. I do the same if I was in their position.
Michael, you're 9 seconds up on GC now. Within that time to finish tomorrow, how does that difference between 9 seconds versus being in a GC lead of, let's say, 11 seconds, how does that play into the tactic tomorrow?
Obviously, it isn't a huge lead. It's still 9 seconds. 9 seconds, if you count out in metres, is a long way. And I'll just repeat what I said. My job tomorrow is just to mark the top GC guys, and if they move, I'll move too. We can expect a lot of attacks from guys that are a bit further down the general classification ranks, but that's my team will be there to cover them. And we're really excited. We think we can do it. We took a lot of people doubted us before the start of this stage and said that we couldn't do it, but we took one step closer today, and it's not over, but in the meantime we're one step closer.
Mike, what would winning this race mean to you? Would it be the biggest win in your career if you were to win tomorrow?
I think so. It's a stage race, yes. I've had great success. Also, I won the Tour of Germany, which was, going back 5-6 years, was a very big race. But certainly, this would be certainly a highlight for me. Obviously, riding for HTC-Columbia, being a California-based team. There's a huge emphasis on this race, and I think it would be a dream come true, not only for me, but for the owner Bob Stapleton and the whole team in general.
Like you said the other day, that you're feeling like you're in some of the best shape you've ever been in. Why? Obviously that hasn't changed in the last 2 days, but what has changed fatherhood?
I kind of realised last year that I wasn't kind of getting out of cycling what I really wanted to. I wasn't getting the satisfaction, and so I asked myself, how can I improve? And after talking to some people that have been very close to me during my career, they thought that I had to change the way that I train and be more efficient in the way that I go through my season. And I really made some big changes in the winter months, November onwards, and changed trainer. Started treating every training day as a race, and things are paying off.
What's going through your head throughout the time trial today? Like what you're thinking about when you're out there today specifically?
As Tony said, I was also in contact with my sports director behind. It's relaying, just split times, and first and foremost, was to be faster than the main GC contenders. I knew that through the first time check that I was just behind Tony, and I'm usually a slower starter, and I knew that I had a bit of a time buffer on the first lap. I knew it was going to be hard for them to pull it back, and on the last lap, I just concentrating on keeping it together and keeping my rhythm and maintaining first and foremost the small time buffer that I had over Dave and over Levi.
Who was the race director who was following you?
Well, I had two actually, Rolf Aldag and Alan Piper.
What was the course like? Was it difficult? Was it for you? What can you describe the road?
I mean, ideally, I would have liked the course to be actually a lot harder. I'm more suited to a time trial that's a lot more undulating. The wind made it very, very tough. The wind was swirling, coming from all directions. It seemed there was never really a tailwind or a headwind. It just seemed to be, swirling through the buildings and houses. So, the road conditions are also very bad. A lot of bumps. There was a few times where I thought I'd punch it, but maybe that was just me, my head. But it was a tough time trial, and also coming, after 6 days of tough racing, and especially after yesterday's mountain stage, time trials are, well, they don't call them the race of truth for nothing.
And do you think Kobe Bryant knows who you are?
Who?
Kobe.
Michael here. Where do you think you are right now in terms of the season compared to where you were at those peak seasons before you had a crash and before you got sick?
I think I've matured a lot, as a person. I definitely have more experience and calmer on the bike. I've been in a lot of situations now, where the winning possibility situations, and I suppose in the past, as all kind of young guys do, they make some mistakes. And probably having a couple of years where I didn't perform that well actually gave me some time to think about those errors that I've made, tactical errors, and I feel all the much wiser for it.